Guts and Glory!
Episode 30, Part 2 with Puno Dostres coming through. So at this point, I assume you've had a right earful of all that this versatile woman has done, is doing, has planned. If not, then why are you here? You don't just skip to the end of a book or Google how the movie ends. Anyway, a term I picked up during the editing of this ep and have been using an obnoxious amount since has been hustle porn. And if in true Monday fashion you're already feeling overwhelmed, you feel this describes your day-to-day down to a T, then let me leave you with this. You have permission to step away from it, and know that you are entirely worthy of that. Puno reminded me of this, and is doing so for many. This is Slashie This Way, Part 2 with Puno Dostres. A quick heads up. We're dealing with an overseas conversation here, so the audio may reflect this. Coming to you from Los Angeles, California, and Amsterdam, the Netherlands. So it was the acting class. Boom. You kind of figured out like what the safety net was that you reverted back to. And connecting with that, is there a way that you've realized that moving forwards from this that you connect differently to people? Or how you operate a team, or how you operate within a team?
Oh, yeah. I think that, one, it really helped me to, think about behavior more and pay attention to, just listen better. I think that, I'm still, practicing that, and, but, I definitely pay attention to, lots of the little nuances, and, even we did this exercise when I was the exercise is basically you stand across from someone else and then you ask them a question about them. Do you like your parents? And then they repeat the question back, do I like my parents? But they have to say it in a way that they're answering the question. And then after that, you you'll say what you saw. So I would say, oh, when you said it, you kind of rocked back and forth and your eyes raised and you had a slight sigh and your eyes are a little relaxed. So I kind of feel like you like your parents. And it's just a really cool way to just dissect everything that someone's doing. So I feel like I'm just I don't do that whenever anybody on my team talks, and I'm oh.
So-and-so did this.
Yeah, we cannot get through a meeting. But I'm just paying attention to that more. And then I think the other thing too is being a student again has been really eye-opening for me because I feel I don't want to be inspo, I'm not super inspo, but, and I I'm all about let's learn the tools, but I forget how naturally it comes to me now. And I forget all of the mind stuff that happens. And so, it was a really good kick in the butt about this course doesn't just have to be about action, and it doesn't have to be woo-woo either, but validate that people are feeling this way and make them not feel alone, because it's an online course and you're just already on the, from the start alone. So we have to circumvent that somehow. And I think that that's just helped me brainstorm different things that can make our course that's already great even more impactful, and not just a lesson about Squarespace, but just in general about learning, Yeah,
it's how do you cater towards people, but also encompass the full human experience and allow people to step into their human experience.
Yeah.
And, okay. And then there's also, you recently had the chance to mentor someone as well. You're seeing these younger generations and how they're approaching their education, and but also on a broader spectrum, like knowing their purpose. Like there's less stigma and guilt these days around the ownership of like going after what one wants, but there's also like a lot more resources. And where do you find that you were needed as a mentor? And how do you feel like there was a balance almost? Did you take anything away from being the mentor? Like you felt like you had the chance to be mentored?
Well, okay, so I'm going to start with this because I think I dropped the ball. Well, I don't really know. To be honest, that program was a little weird, and we have these check-ins, but like a lot of it is reliant on that person getting back to you on things. And so I need to check up on it, but I also said I wasn't going to be a babysitter. So I think that's like a tough part that I know is such a big part of even just like my Squarespace course, like accountability and like just putting the hours in. Like, I don't know how to teach that. It's like, I don't want to. Like, so far, I'm just like, like, I feel like I'm just nagging. Like, I just feel like a big nagger. And there's got to be a better way to do this besides that. So there's that. I love the idea of being a mentor, but being a babysitter is not what I want to sign up for. So, but to answer your question, I think that like for my sisters, for example, they're both really smart and really funny, and I think they're going to be fine when whatever they do. Like really, I really believe that. I guess like I don't know. I think it's like I just want to be curious with them. Like I want them to know that the things that they're excited about are cool to be excited about. And like there's so many different avenues that you can dive into if you are excited about something. And like that's like kind of the biggest thing that I wish or at least that I hope that they can kind of like just do for the rest of their life is just like keep exploring and keep like asking questions and keep being interested in things, because I feel like then that will make you more accountable. But yeah, I don't really know. I mean, like just sharing. I've done a couple of high school talks before, and I feel like one of the big things that people are always so surprised about with me is how self-taught I am, and how like I kind of just navigate and like do and build my own lifestyle. And I want to help explain how I do that better, because from the outset it just looks like magic, and it's not. But like I just want people to know that that is like a legitimate option to do this, but also not like make them just, I don't know, like for example, like I don't want people to be so, I guess like so much there. I don't want people to have so much pressure that they have to be full passion all the time. It's like that's what I felt like, and I was just like not bringing home the bills because of that. That's not the reality. You have to make money. You cannot not make money. But like, so, it's just like, okay, how do you think about money in a healthy way? And how do you think about like making money and what you're doing in a better way, in a more strategic way, a more straightforward way? Because those are the kinds of things that stop you and like burn you out and emotionally drain you. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm like, I guess maybe anybody who turns 35 feels this way, but like, we just got here. Like I just got here. I just turned 35. So I'm like, yeah, I get it. I've got experiences, but I still don't know how to explain it. And I don't know how, but I'm working on that. And maybe like when I'm older, it'll just be a lot easier for me to like help someone who's in high school or who's younger, or even like my own peers, on like how it actually happened, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't feel like I'm there yet, because I think it's a lot of mind stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I love Lacey Phillips from To Be Magnetic, and she has her podcast Expanded, and that touches on manifestation, but it's like there's not spiritually bypassing. There is a formula to it, and it's just working with energetics. Like, you set your worth, you set your value, you put that out there energetically, and you're going to get back what you've set your value to be. And then also you have to do like the real life work, take realistic steps. And I'm hearing you, and it's like you don't want a handhold, but it's you want to be a support in some way and show that what you went through, the hustle, and going into this girl boss rally and doing your talk, it's like you're still a student. And I feel like we're never a guru of any kind. We're always going to be learning. Right now, where you are at, how are you going to go into this girl boss rally? What pointers do you want to touch on?
Yeah. I just want people to understand what a lifestyle business is, because no one talks about it. Like, right now it's all like hustle porn, and I mean, I like came into this world like from the startup world, so I just got inundated with like venture capitalism, like growth and scaling, and all of those things, and all of those things are good. It's not that they're not good. It's just that it's not the only way. It's not the only option, and like, don't rush, because you're gonna burn out again. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like the whole, like, my big thing is like, why you are leaving whatever you are doing, and you're doing a side hustle because you want change. So just be like so respectful of what that thing is that you don't want to do anymore. And like, I was like, I was like almost paranoid of being burnt out again. Yeah. So like, instead of just waiting until I get burnt out again and then have to do it, it was more like I just have to constantly check in with myself and just be like, okay. So that's like the big thing that I need people to feel, that they have permission to do, that they have permission to not rush. They have permission to like play and be a Slashie and like explore other things that might not seem so related, and like just not like have such high expectations for something that you have no idea how to predict. like it took, and I show my numbers, like I show how long it took me to make a certain amount of money, and I show the time, like how long it took to like create a freelance business that worked with my lifestyle. And I talk about like, you know, the time, not necessarily management, but just like the time, how I look at time and how I think about time. And I just like, I'm just overall just not putting a lot of pressure on myself. And I feel like that is, nobody talks about that. Like, it's always like, no, work harder, wake up at 4 a.m. like blah, blah, blah. And I'm just, I don't know. I don't even want the Lamborghini. I mean, everybody wants money. Who doesn't want money? Like, we all want money. But, like, what else do you want? Like, just assume that, yeah, okay, that's a given. We want money. So, let's think about everything else. How do you want your day to look? What emotional things do you not want to deal with anymore? Like, do you want to make your own decisions? Do you not want to make your own decisions? How can you figure out if you do? Like, there's just so many other things that you can figure out first before having to deal with making enough money to buy a Lamborghini if that's what you want, you know? And it's like, I think that the other thing too, which I don't talk about because there's only an hour, but like I really want to talk about like ego and how a lot of people, especially for me, like certain opportunities looked really good because of my ego, and like because I thought, oh, that would look better, or oh, that would be a good exit for me, like for Made with Matt specifically. I thought it would be better to, like, if we got acquired, it would just seem like we did this all for a reason. But really, the acquisition at the end of the day was going to have to like take something away from my day. So there's just like a lot of things that I just want to like help people understand that it, just because you're trying to do something new, just because like you're trying to make money another way, doesn't mean like you have to kill yourself again to like get there.
You're reframing the way we live, and how does money, how does that fit into living, and like how do we relate to the finance side of things, but it's not all encompassing. And I'd love to know what brands you're seeing that are embodying this and embody what you're speaking to and want to relate to people.
Oof, that's a good question. Man, I feel like there's lots of things about what lots of different brands are doing that I love. Like, for example, Noto Botanics, which is like a really good friend of mine now, but I just like know her personally, and her brand is her in every way.
Yeah.
Even like the messiness of it, it is like, it's still her.
You just see her person translated into it.
Yeah. And she's a really great business owner, and she's just like, she cares a lot about very specific issues with just like queerness and how that looks in wellness. Like, it's just, you don't really see a lot of that. Like, the wellness world looks a very specific way.
Yeah.
And so she wants to like break that, and because she loves wellness, and she's, you know, she went through some stuff too, and so yeah, I just really like that she's defying stereotypes. And then my friend Chelsea is like, she has this agency called Matte Black, and if there's someone who I'm like, man, you like know how to build a team and like have real culture, it's her. She's just so freaking, she's the best boss ever. Everybody who's ever worked with her is like, damn, best boss ever. It's not gonna get any better than this. Which is so true. Like, she's just pretty incredible, and like is very like protective of it. So that's pretty cool. Again, anytime like someone, you know, messes with her team, even if it's an internal thing, she nips it in the butt like real quick. Because she's like, no, you're not going to break down, you know, this. This is very important to how she wants to run her business too, you know?
Yeah.
And then like, I have just so many good friends that have like the way that they run their business is just really interesting to me, and like, yeah, I could go off.
Yeah, you can look at encyclopedia.
This is Puno Dostres, and this is Guts and Glory signing off.
This was Slashie This Way with Puno Dostres. Refer to the show notes to further get to know our guest. Share your thoughts and show us some love by subscribing or get in touch to be featured on the podcast. Released every other Monday. Thanks for lending us an ear. Passing on the mic.